Message from Sunnahfollowers. This is from Sheikh Saleh. We need to unite. Sisters, wear your hijab. Wear your beards. Be proud of your beards. Stay home, stay home, stay in your home. Stand up, unite, and stand for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
That's right, Saleh. We all should stand up in solidarity, not transgressing the limits of Allah, but standing together with patience and understanding. This is Sunnahfollowers.
With dignity, humility, and balance.
If you want to learn about how to balance and maintain your faith every day, you need to be here at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, being taught by Laila Nasheeba, streaming on all major platforms. Channel Sunnahfollowers. Hope to see you there, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Yusuf and this is Ayub. And if you are benefiting like we are from the classes and the ongoing programming and tuning into the Sunnahfollowers, please donate. Let this be an ongoing sadaqah jariyah on your behalf. You're helping the kids, the conference, and everyone seeking knowledge. And it's a wealth of information every day you tune in. Don't forget, you are being rewarded for your generous donations to keep this programming on air. You know, just like what you're hearing, put your dollar where the dollar's at. Right here on Sunnahfollowers. Don't forget, donate. Right here to Sunnahfollowers and dollars at. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Listen, we are in dire need of donations to keep these shows running and available for you 24/7. So that means when you're in the car, it's available for you to listen to. Whether you're at work, streaming, playing a game, it's available for you to listen to. Rowing your deen and learning about the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful different topics of Islam. Listen, one of the heaviest deeds that could be placed on your scale on the Day of Judgment is sadaqah jariyah. Yes, I know, I'm trying to build deeds daily. So you can too. So listen, feel free and please, from the bottom of your heart, donate to this wonderful cause, wonderful website and platform to continually push out shows that will benefit you and the Muslim Ummah. Yes, you can donate by going to the sunnahfollowers.net website, pressing the donate tab. You can also scan the QR code in YouTube on the far left top of our videos that are streaming. Listen guys, this is very important and take this as important. We want to keep this programming available for you 24/7 so that you have access in your car, anywhere you choose to tune in to this wonderful programming. Yes, guys, it's all at your disposal. So listen, feel free to donate. Once again, remember, sadaqah jariyah, one of the heaviest deeds on your scale on the Day of Judgment.
Due to the many television shows, American Muslims today who are ignorant to the laws and rules of polygamy in Islam have idolized it to the LDS, not understanding that the LDS way of life is man-made and not based on a book of God. Also, Mormonism is divided into two groups, the Mormons who are against polygamy and the LDS that support it. Also, those Muslims in America who idealize what they see of this lifestyle on television are not aware that it is just a scripted, televised lifestyle. In real life, these people are hiding out and on the run from the federal government due to many state and federal law violations. Join Sunnahfollowers on January 9th at 9:30 p.m. as Ustad Mukhtar Shahid and Dr. Ali Shahada discuss polygamy in Islam and how it has been compared and idealized with the LDS way of life.
The maqasidic tafsir.
Where should I begin when I'm starting at the end?
another addition to your Islamic education. Maqasidic tafsir, healing and governance, the transformative path of Sabah as-Tiwal, written by Dr. Karim Abuzaid. Join Ustad Laila Nasheeba every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9:30 p.m., streaming all major platforms, channel Sunnahfollowers.
Okay. In alhamdulillah, wassalat, wassalam ala wa rasulullah. I'd like to welcome everybody to our maqasidic tafsir class. And this is the class that's based on the book written by Dr. Karim Abuzaid entitled The Maqasidic Tafsir, Volume 3. And this book is based on the 7 most lengthy chapters of the Quran. He's covering or giving us the maqasidic understanding of the 7 most lengthy chapters of the Quran. We covered Surat Al-Baqarah, of course, the Fatiha, Surat Baqarah, Ali Imran, Surat An-Nisa, and now we just began Surat Ali Imran, which is what we're doing today. And the last time we met for this class, we spoke about how Surat Al-Maidah, this is an amazing chapter of the Quran, because this chapter shows how Allah calls. It shows the eloquence of how Allah calls to humanity. It also proves that the Quran is not that the Quran is not written by any human being. The Quran is the words of Allah. These are the words of Allah, where Allah is calling to mankind. He's calling to humanity. And no human being can replicate what Allah is saying here. No human being can produce what Allah is saying. No human being can call to the heart of man as Allah can. And we're going to see that today. I promised you guys in today's lecture how we'll get to see how Allah demonstrates the call to the human heart that not even Karim Abuzaid, even though we're writers, no writer, no man, no matter how eloquent he writes or speaks, can call as Allah does. So tonight's class is not going to be long. We're going to illustrate how Allah, in this amazing chapter of the Quran, how he calls to the believers and how he calls to others. So for those of you who are not on YouTube, who are on this other program, let me turn this camera away from me. I hate that I have to keep my camera on, but otherwise this program won't let me stream. They want me to show myself in order to prove that I am who I am, but I'm gonna turn it away because I don't like certain people staring at me of the opposite gender. So I'm going to turn it away from me so they can at least see a part of me, my hijab, this part, so they can see I'm a human being. I'm not fake. But the rest of you, please open up a tab on your cell phone to YouTube and go to my channel, Sunnahfollowers, as the name is written at the top there. And you can see the PowerPoint I'm getting ready to place up on the screen right now. You can see the book. There it is. Exactly. Yeah, you can see the book that I'm posting up right now. This is a picture of the, oh, wrong PowerPoint. That was last class. Hold on. Uh-oh. Hold on, guys. Let me make sure I got the right PowerPoint on this computer. Uh-oh. Wrong PowerPoint. I'm working 4 computers here, and I got to keep my eye on this other program. Give me a second. Okay, here it is. Okay. Yeah, I'm doing everything myself. I don't have anyone to help me with this. Everything. I'm my own person. I run all the PowerPoints, the streams myself. Okay, hold on. You should see it now, inshallah. Hold on. You'll see my screen. There it is. This is it. Okay, there we go. Yeah, this is the book for those of you who are new. And that's a picture of Dr. Karim Abuzaid. May Allah bless him. Is it big screen there? Okay, so tonight we're gonna we're still on chapter 3.4.1 of the book. That's how Dr. Karim Abuzaid has it chaptered. And we're going to speak about how the Quran calls to the believers and others. Yeah, how I'm gonna turn it so they can see, so they don't, yeah, they have to see something on here so they can see this part, my shoulder. They can see my shoulder, inshallah. The streaming program. Okay, how the Quran, how Allah calls to the believers and others, inshallah. Everybody sees that? And I'm going to speak from my Zoom room so I can see the screen, make it bigger for myself. And please feel free to take screenshots of the PowerPoint for those of you who don't have the book, because tonight's topic is so important. Yeah, take a picture of the book too, so you can buy it. This is the second edition. When you go to Amazon, make sure you get this one. Don't get the other book. There's another book that's purple, I think, that says maqasidic tafsir volume 3. You don't want that one. You want this one, which is the yellow book. It's the second edition. Okay? Yeah, it's yellow. This is it. You want this exact book. All right, so we're going to speak about how the Quran calls to the believers and others. The beauty of the words of Allah. All right, now the calling method in Surat Al-Maidah, it articulates essential aspects of our Islamic belief system. And not only that, but also the laws of Allah. And it addresses the believers directly to underscore the importance of obeying Allah and also the importance of having good conduct and ethical behavior. Also, it effectively engages the true believers in a conversation that is both instructive and transformative. Remember, the Quran, when you read the Quran, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam emphasizes in numerous hadiths how we're supposed to ponder, think about what Allah is saying, because this is an action of worship. You know, Allah is talking to you. When you're reading the Quran, these are the words of Allah. Okay? You're communicating with Allah, okay? Allah is giving you, you're engaged in a conversation between yourself and Allah. Allah is giving you instructions that can be of benefit to you, to help you to change the condition of yourself, to make your life better. So, from urging respect for the sacred rights of Islam from the sacred rights of Islam to, you can hear my speech impediment coming up. I'm sorry, guys. My tongue gets twisted sometimes. So I apologize for that. From urging respect to the sacred rights of Islam to delineating the bounds of lawful consumption and advocating for justice and fairness. These calls that Allah gives us in the Quran, they will guide us towards a path aligned with Allah's will and righteousness. So each verse, when you read the Quran, especially this chapter, when you read this chapter of the Quran, Surat Maidah, each verse begins with, "O you who have believed," will not only capture your attention, but will also prepare your heart and your mind to receive deep wisdom and guidance. That's why this chapter is so amazing. This chapter is so profound. Listen to what Ibn Masud, may Allah be pleased with him, said about these verses. He said, when you hear what Allah says in the Quran, such as, "O you who believe," and then you listen with full attention, it will either contain a type of righteousness that Allah is enjoining upon you, or an evil that He is warning you against. And this is what I was telling you guys the other day when I taught this class. Whenever you come upon a verse in the Quran where Allah begins with, "O you who believe," or "O mankind," you know, Allah is getting ready to, He's capturing your attention because He has something really important He's getting ready to say to you. Okay? Listen to what Sheikh Ibn al-Uthaymin, may Allah be pleased with him. He's one of the scholars of our time who died in the early 2000s. He said the phrase, "O you who believe," this indicates that acting upon the command with firm belief or complete obedience is one of the requisites of faith. It also shows that opposing or doubting or denying the command is either a deficiency of faith or a complete negation. Also, there is motivation and allurement for the one being addressed, as if Allah is saying, if you truly believe in me, then listen to what I'm about to say and obey me. So, subhanAllah, I want you guys to remember that whenever you read the Quran and teach it to your children, when you come upon a verse that begins with, "O you who believe," that's like, uh-oh, you better listen, you better pay attention, because what's about to follow is something really big, really important. And so the verses that we're going to go over today are good examples of this. It's going to call these verses of Surat Al-Maidah. They show how the Quran, how Allah calls in the Quran to the believers to understand and practice their faith, because these verses emphasize morality and consciousness. You know, how we're going to have to fall back on our faith and be conscious of what we really truly claim that we believe in. Okay, so let's take a look at these verses, beginning with the first verse. This is the first verse of Surat Al-Maidah. The first verse begins as this. Pay attention. "O you who have believed." See how it begins? This is the first verse of Surat Al-Maidah in the interpretation of the meaning. "O you who have believed, fulfill all contracts. Lawful for you are the animals for grazing, except for that which is recited to you in this Quran. Hunting is not permitted while you are in the state of ihram. Indeed, Allah ordains what He intends." You see that? This verse uses a call to communicate legal rulings about contracts and lawful foods. See how it began? "O you who have believed." See how Allah got our attention? He's letting us know, "O you who have embraced this religion, O you who have converted to Islam, O you who were lost in darkness, but now you have come into the light." I'm getting ready to tell you something. I'm getting ready to tell you something important, so pay attention. This verse ensures that the audience is attentive and receptive to the following directives that Allah is getting ready to lay down. And it emphasizes the significance of adhering to Allah's laws. And Allah lays down the rules, the laws here about what we can eat. Okay? And so these laws impact our daily life. So you see that? That's an example. And that's the first verse of Surat Al-Maidah. Y'all see that? First verse of Surat Al-Maidah. And then look at the second verse. The second verse of this amazing chapter. The second verse, Allah says, in the interpretation of the meaning, He calls out again, O you who have believed, do not violate the rights of Allah or the sanctity of the sacred month, or neglect the marking of the sacrificial animals and garlanding them, or violate the safety of those coming to the sacred house, seeking blessings from their Lord and His approval. But when you come out of Ihram, then you may hunt. You see that? This is the second verse. The second verse, again, Allah begins with those same words, O you who have believed. So once again, Allah is getting your attention. He grabs your attention. And then He lays down the law again, commanding us as Muslims, as believers, to respect Islam's sacred rights. Just like the first verse was very important. Lawful for us are the animals that graze, except for what Allah said we can't eat. Well, now He's laying down a law here of sacred rites that we have to perform during the Hajj. So the call, see how He called to us in the first verse, and He's calling us again in the second verse. Oh, you who have believed. This is a direct appeal to the believer's sense of faith. And it instructs us on the proper conduct during the pilgrimage, just as it instructed us on the proper conduct regarding contracts and what we can eat and what we can't eat. So this verse emphasizes the importance of obedience to Allah's commands, just as the first. And it showcases how Allah's calls will guide the true believer towards respect, devout practices that all adhere to Allah's commands while staying away from innovation, superstition, and relativism. You guys see that? No man, no woman, no jinn can call to a heart, to a mind like Allah can. Because those words not only call to your heart, they call to your soul, they call to your mind, they call to you on every level, spiritually, emotionally, physically, and every other way. Subhanallah. Allah's Akbar. And that's how this chapter begins. Now let's look at verse number 90. Allah does another call. Allah goes on after the second verse to speak more in detail about other things. And then just when you think, So man doesn't get bored. It shows how Allah is the best speaker of all. To keep your attention, just to make sure we're listening. When we get to verse 90, what happens in verse 90 of this amazing surah? After Allah's laying down law after law, he goes over what's lawful for us to eat, what's unlawful for us to eat. He goes over the rules of the Hajj and all of that, and the Hadi and all of that in this chapter, the people of the book, and he talks about, marrying from the people of the book and all of that. And just to make sure we're paying attention, when we get to verse 90, we come upon this in the interpretation of meaning. O you who have believed, indeed, intoxicants, gambling, sacrificing on stone altars to other than Allah, and divining arrows are but defilement from the work of Shaitan, so avoid it, so that you may be successful. Wow, see that? No one can speak better than Allah. He comes with it again to get your attention again, to make sure you haven't fallen asleep, to make sure you haven't become bored, to make sure that your mind hasn't went off into la la land. He got your attention again. Oh, you who believe, here's something even more super important. He calls to us again on every level, through your heart, through your soul, through your mind, through your desires. He done hit you through your desire now. He done transcended the soul. He done transcended the mind. He done hit you through your desires. Maybe you wanted to take a potty break. Hello, it happens. We're listening to a speaker at a conference. We need a potty break. Uh-oh, we done sat back down. I done sat back down now. Forget the potty break, because he done hit me through my desire. He's telling me here, intoxicants, drinking. Oh, these are desires. So the call to the believers precedes a strong prohibition against activities that lead to moral and spiritual corruption. This verse illustrates how calling can be a powerful tool for legislating ethical behavior and guiding the believer away from harm and towards success in righteousness. Man can't do that. Man can't interrupt you from the potty break, not like Allah. Maybe you wanted to go outside and take a cigarette break. It happens at conferences. Oh, I need a cigarette break. Shouldn't have been smoking anyway. Intoxicants. Maybe I wanted to go get some food. This hits your desire. Only Allah can do that. And again, let's look at verse number 8. Verse number 8. Allah even addresses, just in case we missed it, in Surat An-Nisa. Remember, Surat An-Nisa was all about justice. In verse number 8 of this amazing surah, Allah called for justice and equality. He had to remind us about what we may have become remiss in. Remember when we went over Surat An-Nisa, Allah laid down the rights of the vulnerable, such as the women in society and the orphans in society. Well, in verse 8 of Surat Al-Maidah, Allah begins in the interpretation of the meaning with, O you who have believed, be persistently standing firm for Allah. witnesses in justice, and do not let the hatred of a people prevent you from being just. Be just, because that is nearer to righteousness. This verse here emphasizes the importance of justice even in the face of enmity. This verse calls the believers to the Quranic role in developing a just society by instructing the believers to uphold fairness and integrity, to reflect upon the deep ethical foundations of Allah's teachings, even though you may hate living amongst people who are non-Muslims. Remember, Surat An-Nisa taught us we have to live with amongst them. We may not like them, but we cannot be unjust towards them. We still have to be fair and just in our dealings with the non-Muslims. Okay? You may not like women. There's a lot of people that just have just don't like women, but you still have to be just and fair with them. You can't make rules. You can't make laws, that contradict Allah's rules and Allah's laws regarding women. Okay? You can't make things haram for women that Allah didn't make haram for them. Nor can you make things lawful for women either that Allah didn't make lawful for them. We have to maintain justice and equity within our societies, okay? So that's in case we forgot the laws that Allah laid down in Surat An-Nisa. Allah reminds us of them in Surat Al-Maidah in verse number 8. And he began it with, "O you who have believed," to show how important it is in case we missed it. And then we talked about how in verse 90, in case people wanted to take a potty break, okay, Allah, hit us with the intoxicants. And that appealed to us through our desires. Well, guess what? Allah hits us again and keeps us sitting a little bit longer in verse number 101 of Maidah. Listen to what Allah says here in verse number 101 in the interpretation of the meaning. "O you who have believed, do not ask about things which, if they were made plain to you, may cause you trouble. But if you ask about them while the Quran is being revealed, they will be made plain to you." Why come I can't drink? Why come I can't gamble? Why come I can't sacrifice on stone altars? That's a shock. People like to drink alcohol. People like to smoke cigarettes. People like to smoke marijuana. I wanted to take a potty break, but now I don't have to use the potty anymore because I'm in shock. So now the questions come, why? Why come I can't? Well, here Allah has answered you. It was such a shock to you that you forgot to use the bathroom. Well, don't ask those type of questions. Don't ask about things which, if you knew the answer to, it'll cause you even more harm. Just simply say, "Oh Allah, I hear you. Oh Allah, I obey you." And just know that Allah knows best and you and I know less. The bottom line, you can't smoke cigarettes. So take those Salems, those Benson and Hedges menthol lights, and throw them in the garbage. Take that marijuana. It doesn't matter if it's lawful, if the United States government made it legal or not. Understand that there's no such thing. Just because America puts the words medical in front of it, don't make it legal. It's still haram. Take that medical marijuana and flush it down the toilet. It's all haram. As the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Even if it's a little bit in it, it's still haram. Anything that befogs the brain is considered an intoxicant. Flush it down the toilet, it's haram. Whatever good is in it, the evil outweighs the good. It's haram. Flush it down the toilet. Okay? Allah knows best, you know less. Get rid of it. It's haram. So this verse warns the believers against inquiring into matters that could cause distress. The initial call captures the audience's attention, guiding them to focus on essential knowledge and avoid unnecessary complications. It showcases Allah's role in nurturing focused consciousness and informed community of believers, okay? Because Allah knows His creation. He knows after telling you that something is haram to do what you like to do. Who doesn't enjoy smoking? That's why it's hard to kick the habit. Who doesn't enjoy getting high? That's why it's hard to not get high. Who doesn't enjoy gambling? Who doesn't enjoy zodiac signs and that stuff? Who doesn't enjoy that? He knows His creation. That's why He followed it up with this verse saying, don't ask about that, which if you knew the answers to, it would just cause you more pain. Just submit to what I said and keep it moving. So these examples from Surah Al-Maidah demonstrate how calling is employed in the Quran to convey Allah's guidance, to legislate good behavior, and to instill ethical principles, and to inspire personal and communal reform. And it highlights the comprehensive approach to nurturing your belief in Allah, to growing your morality and your awareness as a true believer. And not only does Allah call to the believers, but also in this chapter, He calls to the non-believers too. And you will see in this chapter, the Quran, Him calling to the Christians and Jews through other verses as well. This chapter extends 4 calls to the people of the book. These calls remind them of their historical trust with Allah and of the significance of accepting the finality of prophethood with the coming of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Also, Allah gives 2 calls explicitly directed to Prophet Jesus alaihi salam, reflecting on his mission and the misinterpretations of his message. These calls are crucial in clarifying the Islamic perspective on Jesus alayhi salam and his esteemed place within the Islamic tradition. We love Prophet Jesus alayhi salam. He will come back. He did not die on the cross. Allah took him up to him. He will come back. He will not come back as a prophet. He will come back as a leader of the world. He will reinstate the sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He will make Islam, which is total submission to Allah, the religion of the world, and he will die here, and he will be buried, here. Subhanallah. So Surat Al-Maidah serves as a divine guide, meticulously addressing the faithful and the final prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Also, it addresses the Jews and the Christians and even past prophets that Allah sent alaihi salam to consolidate the essence of the true Islamic faith. It also emphasizes the unity of Allah's messages throughout history, and also the commitment required of believers and the importance of upholding justice, fulfilling contracts, and upholding integrity. And again, the amazing way in which Allah calls the people to Him. The amazing way He does it distinguishes that he is nothing like his creation, subhanallah. The way he does it is what we're going to be covering, you know, in this chapter. The 16 different calls, because Allah had calls in 16 different ways here, and we're going to go over it in this amazing chapter. So this is what I wanted to cover today. I can't wait for us to get over these 16 distinctive calls. I've been wanting to teach this chapter for a long time. And mashallah, I finally get to do it. But this is one of my favorite chapters of the Quran. This chapter, also Surat Nur. These are two of my Surat Nur, and this is two of my favorite chapters of the Quran. Are there any questions about anything that I went over today? Any questions here? Any questions? I want you guys to remember that when you're reading the Quran and you get to those verses like, oh, you who believe, that means something important is getting ready to follow. You better listen, pay attention. Lend me your ears. In other words, listen. Any questions, comments? Is this clear to everyone? We're going to see if there's any answers, questions on there. Okay, also, guys, before we close out for tonight, please, we need donations. This is the first of the month. I did put on the ticker. I mean, I got my ticker there, but also on the YouTube thing, how you can donate. A lot of people ask me how to donate on YouTube. There it is on there too, the Zelle information and the Cash App information and the PayPal information on the little YouTube thing, because it's the first of the month. Also, to let you guys know, Dr. Ali Shahada, inshallah, will be resuming his classes this month too. So, you know, I'll be letting you guys know when he'll be teaching his class too. Yes, Sister Aya, I saw it come through. I saw your Zelle come through on my phone when I was doing the PowerPoint. May Allah bless you, Sister Aya. I saw it on my phone, alhamdulillah. So please, guys, support us. We need your donations. We got to get these website expenses paid. You guys see that I'm using a lot of the AI software to help me do these videos. Since I don't have any help, it's all me. Everything that's done technically is done by me, myself. I'm doing all the videos, the servers, everything. And God, Allah knows I'm using the software. Nothing is free. You guys know how much it costs to run a website. It's expensive. I mean, I need help. I mean, we are nonprofit, and nothing is free, nothing is cheap. So everything all your donations, as you all know, goes for this website, and it is not cheap. So please support us. Please support us. Please support us. We are a nonprofit. Yeah. Yes, tomorrow is the Ask Sister Laila live show. Next week, next Friday, will be the special Ask Sister Laila live show with Brother Mukhtar and Dr. Ali Shahada. And their special will be that polygamy thing. And by the way, guys, any special topics you guys have for the Ask Sister Laila live, send them to me in email. Any special topics for the Ask Sister Laila live, just send me an email with your topic requests. Yes. Yeah. Dr. McBride, inshallah, should be back next week. And like I said, Dr. Ali will, inshallah, start up his classes this month too. I'll let you guys know when his classes will start up, what class. Yeah, and when. Yeah, inshallah. Yeah. My brother Issa's class will be Sunday too. Yeah, this Sunday, inshallah, we'll have my brother Issa's class. His Arabic and Aqidah class will be at 11 a.m. Inshallah, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday. his Arabic and Aqidah class. Yeah, his class is every other Sunday. Him and Mukhtar. Mukhtar's every Sunday. Mukhtar's Khalifat of Umar is Sunday, yes. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to log out for right now. Yeah, you like this background? I just threw this together. Yeah, how do you like this background, Aya? I wanted something blue with my hijab. Y'all know I got to be color coordinated. I wanted something blue. My hijab. You like it? Oh. You guys want to know, this is how Aisha wore her. Y'all want to know how the female companions wore their hijab in Saudi Arabia? Y'all want to know how the women wore their hijab, their khimar in the 6th century? This is how they wore it. This is how the women wore their khimar. They did not wear niqab. They wore it like this to cover their eyes. This is how the women wore niqab. This is how the Arabic women wore niqab in the 6th century. To cover their eyes. You see this? You don't know who I am. Because the eyes are the key to the soul. This is how Arabic women wore khimar. They did not wear a niqab. Niqab is from the Turkish women, not Arabic women. Arabic women wore them like this. This is how Kanza. This is how Aisha radiallahu anha, Salama. The Arabic women wore their khimars like this. So you didn't know who they were. You guys see this? You don't know who I am. You don't know who I am. The eyes is who you can tell. You don't know if I'm Laila. You don't know who I am. Because you can tell who a person is from the eyes and eyebrows. That's why it's haram for a Muslim woman to arch her eyebrows. The eyebrows tell you what family we come from. You don't know of who I am. But when I do this, you know who I am. Look, when you see my eyes, that's Laila. The eyes and eyebrows. This is Laila Nasheeba. This is the family of Sadat. The eyebrows are like a fingerprint. If I cover my face like this, you know who I am. This is Laila. This is Laila. But if I do this, you don't know who I am. This is how Arabic women wore their khimar if they wanted to hide who they were. Because you don't know who I am, and we can see. I can see everything. I can fight with a sword. I can use a bow and arrow. You don't know who I am. I'm a masked woman. You don't know what tribe I come from. You don't know who I am. And I can see everyone and everything. But you don't know who I am. But when I take this back, you see those eyes? That's Laila. Get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Learn your history, people. Learn your history. This is Laila. I can cover niqab. Laila. Learn your history, people. All right, so inshallah, I'll see everybody tomorrow. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum.